The number one is there are any placement tests for students before entering the English course. This question is asked to find out the system used by the English course in placing students before joining the program, because on average the English course implements placement tests and whether the placement tests will later affect students' abilities and the availability to join the program in the English course. And number two, how many programs are offered in English course. To find out more about the English course, the program and activities carried out need to be clearly known. Therefore, it is important to ask about the form of the program and the categories of students who can take part in the program. Then through this question we can also explore whether the program being made and offered is in line with the origin purpose of the English course.
The next question is, does the English course have its own books or teaching materials, or use books from other publishers? So to support teaching and learning process, we need to pay attention to this part, which is books. We need to find out whether the course institution use books from international publishers or they make it the book by themselves, like private publishers. The next question is, what is the effective number of students in each class for course institution? So I think this question is really vital. Why? Because the success indicator of teaching and learning process, could be seen according to the number of students. Why? Because when there is so many students, we think that it could be not effective.
The next question is, what are the requirements that must be met to set up an English course? So in order to create an English course, there must be a certain requirements that need to be fulfilled so the English course or the English school can run smoothly. So through this question, we'd like to explore deeply about the things that need to be fulfilled so we can create an English course or an English school. The next question is, do they need to register the place to the Ministry of Education? In this case, some countries such as South Korea and most of the European countries, they need to register the English course to the Ministry of Education because English course considered as a business and it needs to be conducted legally. We would like to ask this question because we would like to know whether these things also applies in Indonesia and whether there are some English course that are not registered in places to the Ministry of Education and that is also considered as conducting a business illegally. The next question is, how qualified and experienced the teacher whom teach in the English course? So for this question, one of the things that need to be paid attention for the English course is that finding the best, the more experienced and the qualified teachers. Because the more qualified and the more experienced the teacher, the more student will come and register for the English course, and that is also a big benefit for the English course, right? So through this question, we'd like to know and would like to explore what kind of experience and what kind of qualification that the English course are looking for so the teacher can become or can be part of the English course.
Okay, number 2. How is the learning environment and facilities provided in the English course? The reason why we asking this because to support the convenience of students in learning, facilities and supportive environment are needed. The availability of complete facilities can affect students' learning abilities. Therefore, we asked this question to find out the availability of facilities and the supporting environment that is owned by the English course. Number 3. What kind of method that the English course teachers use in the process of learning and teaching? Okay. Uh, there are several methods used by teachers in organizing learning in class and aiming to develop students' learning competencies. And as we know that there are four skills in English, namely listening, speaking, writing, and reading. Our goal in asking this question is that we want to know what methods are used by tutors so that the children can remember what they learn or develop the knowledge they get from the tutoring place. Is it just a material that they get, or can they also develop their skills or something? Next, number 4. How does the teacher there determine the level of competencies of each student? As we know, there are three ways to test students' competency abilities, namely in written, oral, and practical forms. Because of these three things is a test to find out or determine the level of competencies of students in their academics. Well, we ask this question because we want to find out if there are other ways besides these three things to test students' competency abilities.
The category of the question is the managing people. The question is how is materials used by teachers and students managed and by whom? This question is asked in order to know how the school provide and manage the learning materials because some places decide to manage the materials by the staff and teacher only teach but others do different. Daily teachers create as well as the teach materials in the classroom. The next one is the business management category. There are two questions. The first one is how does the English course institution promote their programs different from other courses? This question is asked to know how an English course institution promote their programs and what are the things that make it different from other courses. This question is important for the people who would like to register in one of the English course to know why they have to choose the English course institution because as we know, sometimes how an English course institution promote their programs reflects the quality of the institution itself. The second question is, does each skill taken such as speaking, writing, listening, and reading have a different price or is it the same? This question is important to ask just in case there are different price lists of each items because sometimes people want to take one or two items like only speaking and listening or maybe the institution offers different course fee if taking the entire item. This question is important because as a customer, we need to know that kind of things as a transparency between the institution and the learners.
Okay, the next category is managing change and quality. The first question is what new needs are emerging as the range of material diversifies, the use of technology like web-based material, online tutoring, and etc. Currently, there are many course institutions available. We are free to choose which one we want to enter. But to enter a course institution, of course, we will see the quality of the course place. A good course institution must have different characteristics from other course places, especially in era like this, everything is technology based. So, through this question, we want to know what new needs are emerging as the range of materials diversifies. And the second question is, has the English course been disrupted since the pandemic? If so, what kind of disruption? As we know, the pandemic has affected all sectors of human life, including the world of education. Online learning has been implemented in schools, teachers, students, and required to get used to this condition, not only in schools,
Course institutions also conduct online learning, so we want to know, has the English course been disrupted since the pandemic, and what kind of disruption? Because besides the problems that occur in online learning, we also want to know about other problems, if any.